morning, Wittenberg engineers. Welcome to Ion Engineering. Today is Thursday, December 6th. Today will be 59 degrees and rainy. It's Electrical Engineering Month at AJ Wittenberg. Hubbell Lighting will be our guest next week.
On today's show, by Ion Engineering, we'll be taking a look at the light bulb. Also, we will be sharing today in history and learning more about greenhouses. Let's start our day with the Pledge of Allegiance. Sina and Julia, will you lead us with the pledge?
Yes, engineers stand, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Engineers, you may be seated. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Sina and Julia. Engineers, it is now time for the moment of silence.
Jeb, do you smell that wonderful aroma? I wonder what's cooking in the cafe. Do you know?
No, Sydney, but Elliot and Ann do. Elliot and Ann. Elliot and Abigail? What's for lunch?
For Thursday, December 6th, AJ's Cafe is cooking up baked potato creation station, Salisbury steak, vegetation station, tomato basil soup, mixed vegetables, choice of fruit, milk. It'll put a smile on your face and a lick on your lips. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Elliot and Abigail. Today, the Poets Corner is Alicia and Eli. Alicia, what's in store for us today?
My Lunch by Ken Nesbitt. A candy bar, a piece of cake, a lollipop, a chocolate shake.
A jelly donut, chocolate chips, some gummy worms, and licorice whips.
A candy cane, a lemon drops, and bubble gum and soda pop.
Vanilla wafers, cherry punch. My mom slept in while I made lunch. Back to the studio.
That's my kind of lunch. Yum. Thanks, Owen and Eli.
Sounds great. My mouth is watering.
Today, Michael and Eleanor are in Thomas Edison's laboratory, Menlo Park. So far, we have learned about incandescent light bulbs, fluorescent light bulbs, LED bulbs, and CFLs. Can't wait to see what's next. Michael?
This time of year, light bulbs get a workout. When decorating the tree, only two types of bulbs are being used, incandescent or LED bulbs. This morning, let's talk about lights for the Christmas tree. People first started putting lights on the Christmas tree back in the middle of the 17th century. They attached small candles to the ends of tree branches with wax or pins. Before electricity was widely available, people didn't usually put up their trees until December 24th. because of the risk of fire. Once electric Christmas lights were invented, people started to put up trees and leave them up longer.
The American custom of using electric lights began in 1882 when Edward Johnson, an associate of Thomas Edison, hand-wired 80 red, white, and blue bulbs and wound them around the rotating evergreen tree. Then in 1895, President Grover Cleveland set up a lighted Christmas tree in the White House, and the general public began to notice, so began the tree gazing.
General Electric, Edison's company, began bringing good things to light as 1800s came to a close, offering hand-blown bulbs that need to be wired together like beads on a string. Homeowners had to hire a wireman to stab the mesh together, as much as you'll have to call someone to get your new computer online tomorrow.
In 1900, some large stores started to put up large illuminated trees to attract customers. Members of high society began hosting Christmas tree parties. These were grand events since a typical lighted tree of the early 1900s cost upwards of $300, more than $2,000 in today's dollars, including the generator and wireman service.
In 1903, American Ever-Ready Co. came out with the first human-made Christmas light set, including new screw-in bulbs and a plug for the wall socket. In 1908, Ralph Morris came up with the idea of pulling lights from an old telephone switchboard and wiring them on a tree, running them from a battery. I'm Michael.
And I'm Eleanor. More about light bulbs tomorrow, reporting from Menlo Park. Back to you, Cindy and Jeff.
Thanks, Michael and Eleanor. We have learned so much about light bulbs. Now for Today in History. Anna Lucia.
On this day in 1884 in Washington, D.C., workers placed a 9-inch aluminum pyramid atop a tower of white marble, completing the construction of an impressive monument to the city's namesake and the nation's first president, George Washington. As early in 1783, the U.S. Congress decided that a statue of George Washington, the great Revolutionary War general, should be placed near the site of the new Congressional building. After then, President Washington asked him to lay out a new funeral caption on the Potomac River in 1791. Architect Pierre L. left a place for the statue at the western end of the National War Mall near the monument's pursuit location.
Today in 1873, America's first international soccer game was played in New Haven, Connecticut. Yale defeated Eton, which is in England. The score was 2-1.
Today in 1947, Everglades National Park in Florida was dedicated by President Harry S. Truman. In the president's words, "Here are no lofty peaks seeking the sky, no mighty glaciers or rushing springs wearing away the uplifted land. Here is land, tranquil in its quiet beauty, serving not as the source of water, but as the last receiver of it. To its natural ambience, we owe the spectacular plant and animal life that distinguishes this place from all others in our country."
On December 6, 1923, a presidential address was broadcasted on radio for the first time as President Calvin Coolidge spoke to a joint session of Congress. "I wonder when the radio was invented," Hooray for engineers. More tomorrow. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Alicia and Ann. Now to Saren and Ethan. We're talking about greenhouses. Saren?
Today we are going to talk about the benefits and problems of having greenhouses. Here are the benefits. Greenhouses extend the growing season, allowing for fruits and vegetables to be grown year-round. In some cases, plants that could never survive in a particular climate can be grown. They keep animals out of the garden, protect seedlings from the wind and storm damage, save money on groceries bills during the off-season, and keep some types of pests away, such as boring insects. Now we are going to grow fruit and vegetables in our greenhouse, but we will start seedlings that can be planted in our garden.
There are some problems that greenhouses can't solve. Not all bugs will remain outside the greenhouse. Some sneak in with anyone working in the greenhouse, while others can get in through tiny cracks, just as they can in any house. You can quickly end up with a bug colony if you're not careful. While warmth is important for plants in the greenhouse, too high a temperature can cook them. Humidity is also important to a greenhouse. Plants, but too much can promote diseases. Also, soil dries out quicker in a greenhouse.
Remember, the purpose of an enclosed greenhouse is to give plants an environment in which to grow. A working greenhouse controls the entire temperature, light, and moisture levels.
When an enclosed greenhouse is working properly, these three elements, temperature, light, and moisture, are at an excellent level for growing your plants. If you have an enclosed greenhouse but your plants are not performing as well as expected, you need to look at how well the three major elements are functioning. We will make sure that all three elements work in our greenhouse. More tomorrow, back to the studio.
Thanks, Saren and Ethan. Engineers, it's time to sign off. Don't forget to keep in gear. G, give you rest every day.
E, exercise smart problem solving.
A, act responsibly.
R, respect yourself and others.
I'm Sydney.
And I'm Jeb, signing off. Have a great day.